Every day, tens of thousands of PCBs are scrapped, along with the valuable ICs on them, due to a fault or sometimes obsolescence. However, as ICs are thoroughly tested before leaving the manufacturer, silicon failures are rare. 70% of PCB assembly failures are actually caused by solder paste alone, meaning that the highly valuable and still fully operational ICs are scrapped needlessly. The ability to remove ICs from scrap or obsolete PCBs for reuse can save companies millions of dollars, reduce the amount of material sent to landfill, and offer a new source of hard-to-find components. Some ICs are currently recovered. However, there is a huge mistrust over the processes used for recovery. IC manufacturers don't approve this method as it uses multiple reflow cycles, exceeding the recommended number on an IC. Retronics offers a process of recovery that uses no reflow cycles and therefore meets the manufacturer's specification. Traditionally, component recovery involved long exposure to extreme temperatures which could degrade or damage the IC. The key difference between the traditional IC recovery process and Retronics' IC Rescue is simple. The Retronics process uses much lower temperatures and times, so no reflow cycles, and a process that is fully repeatable, controlled, and measured. For 20 years, UK-based Retronics has been working with the many companies who use ICs, from CEMs and OEMs through service repair companies and recyclers to high-reliability industries including military, aerospace, and medical. We operate in Europe, the Americas, and Asia, and we are the world's longest established and most technically sophisticated company in our industry. Here's how the world's first safe zero reflow cycle recovery works. IC Rescue, unique and only from Retronics. The process starts with pre-bake. This ensures all moisture is removed from the PCB in accordance with JEDEC standards prior to component removal. Here, the ICs are removed in a unique temperature-controlled process. The integrity of the IC is protected by sacrificing the PCB, a process that cannot be used in assembly. Next, the unique Retronics method for solder removal. Crucially, with no contact with the component, this avoids abrasive damage, as well as avoiding reflow temperatures or times. It's also a fully automatic process, so an even amount of solder is left on the pads each time, guaranteeing the same quality time after time. Central to Retronics' IC Rescue process is our laser reball capability. Here, a BGA can be reballed without using a reflow cycle. The spheres are reballed individually using a laser pulse that creates zero heat, in contrast to traditional methods which use a full reflow cycle to mass reflow the spheres. From here, Retronics tests each component mechanically after processing. This reveals any potential distortions in the component body, which could be a sign of popcorning or other thermal shock issues. In the case of BGAs, the process also tests for ball presence, quality, and coplanarity. For QFP devices, we also test for coplanarity, sweep slant, and lead deviation. Next, the IC undergoes electrical testing. Our processes include curve trace test, which compares each connection on the IC to a map of a known good IC. XRF testing determines the composition of an alloy on a lead or sphere. This can tell if a device is lead-free or not. Key functional test is used to test specific parameters of a device that are suspect. Visual inspection looks for many faults, such as sand tool markings, blacktopping, and different countries of origin. The final part of the process after cleaning is to pack the components in the format required by the customer, for instance tape and reel or tray. The components are then vacuum sealed with desiccant and a humidity indicator, and labelled for shipping. IC Rescue is the world's first zero reflow cycle recovery process, and it's unique to Retronics. See more at retronics.com or contact sales@retronics.com. Retronics. the world's #1 electronic components recovery company.